take a look at this. Shedeur Sanders getting in some work at Coach Dion, his dad's house, ahead of training camp. So we continue to see Sanders kind of working on the footwork and getting things going. It's kind of interesting, Fred. So rookies report to training camp next Friday. It's already a week from Friday. What are you paying attention to relative to the rookie quarterbacks early in camp?
Well, I'm just looking to see what their rotation's going to be. We don't see anything until everybody gets there. I think the 23rd, the veterans are in, and when they start practicing, is the pecking order changed? I don't expect it to change. I figure that Pickett or Flacco will be first with reps, probably Pickett, and then Gabriel and Sanders. I don't think anything's really changed based on the off-season workouts this spring. I think what's going to be big for these guys, they're going to have about a week of practice training camp, and then they're going to go to Carolina and practice with the Panthers. And then the next week, they're going to go to Philadelphia, the Super Bowl champion, and they're going to practice 2 days with them. Those are going to be very important, especially for the rookies in the preseason game against the Panthers and the Eagles. I expect Sanders and Gabriel will play the majority of those games. And we remember DTR in those preseason games thought how well he looked. He played a lot. So it's always hard to read into it because they're playing non-starters and so forth as well. But I'm going to look for the rotation and how much, Sanders, gets in with the first team or in 11 on 11s. He didn't get much in the OTAs and the mini camps. Gabriel got a little bit more. We'll just see if the evaluation since mini camp has changed, that the coaches said, he's moved up a little bit and he's going to have, maybe equal shot, with in the practice time, because that's really, they don't have a lot of time to get ready. They have a game August 8th and they start practicing July 23rd. So you basically have a week and a half of practices and you're starting to play games. And even though it's not a regular season game, you got to get them ready to play in games. And so there's not enough reps for four different guys.
Yeah, and I would guess that Pickett and Flacco get the reps against the first team defense from the Panthers and the Eagles in those joint practices. They'll probably split those up, and the rookies, they're going to have to probably do it in the preseason game. If we take away quarterback from the equation, what else are you paying attention to that's important in training camp?
Well, I think there's some of the things we talked about earlier. I think the wide receiver got a lot of bodies, but I don't know if they have a lot of proven, talent. So the training camp's going to be important, to see what the Cedric Tillmans and the Jamari Thrash and David Bell and and Deontay Johnson, Michael Woods, how they look at, as well as the undrafted guys they brought in. And then on the defensive tackle line, of course, you want to see if Mason Graham's going to be ready. And what about Michael Hall, coming off that surgery? Then you got DeJuan Jones, how's he going to look at left tackle? And then you got Carson Schlesinger, who you're counting on to try to fill the gap, losing JOK. And then you got safeties. They're handing the job, or hoping the job is, shouldn't say handing, is Ronnie Hickman takes it. But they got literally no play out of the safeties last year as far as safety, no interceptions. Juan Thornhill was billed as a ball hawk. In 2 years, he had no interceptions. Can Hickman do that? Or would DeMonte Casey or Rayshon Jenkins, the veterans they brought in, will they unseat Hickman? And will Grant Delpit step up? So there's a lot of positions that they have players, but are they ready? Will they be ready to step in? So it's always kind of, crazy at training camp. Things happen, injuries occur. But as I look right now, that's what I see all the way around. And how quick can Harold Fannin step up? And will he be more of a wide receiver to start because of the depth at wide receivers?